Well, it is Wednesday, and that means our plant and garden expert, Craig Hignight, is joining us here in the studio answering your plant and garden questions. We're working on getting that Facebook Live up, but I do want to start out with a question for myself, and I think for a lot of those out there that like to have a garden. You know, it's been really nice out. We don't really have any of the frost in the ground anymore. Is it too soon to plant?
Well, we're still a month away from May 15th, so, Mother Nature could just be playing with us. I did have a lady come in and tell me that her ground worked out beautifully, and that's the thing I worry about right now, is the ground being unfrozen, but still too wet. You can cause major damage if you work the soil too early, but if your soil is dry enough to work, go for it. Keep the blankets handy.
So for people who may not have heard that and already started, do you have any advice for that? Just halt, restart, or save it?
No. Like I said, keep the blankets handy.
Yeah.
I know people have got cabin fever. I see it every day. I'm feeling it myself. But you have to remember that May 15th is when we probably will not have any more frost. And I've got a feeling you guys are going to keep this at bay, aren't you?
Well, according to Andrew.
Yeah, but always have your protection available.
And we have a question that was texted into us. I have a raised garden. How do I get rid of the weeds so I can plant it this spring? So I can plant this spring. Tilling doesn't seem to kill them.
Okay. What you want to do is once you get the garden all put together, friends of mine did this. They took weed mat like you'd normally put under gravel when you're using gravel as a mulch, and they literally carpeted their entire garden except where the plants were. Not a single weed. The water and air can get through. At the end of the season, you just gather it up, still no weeds.
There you go.
Gotcha. And we have a viewer who wrote in, and it just went away. Here we go, thank you. It was Jeff. When should I trim back my hydrangea back, and how much should I trim?
Okay, this is a common question right now, and the time is now. You want to go ahead and look for about an inch of new green growth. Anything dead above that, trim it off. But we can go ahead and start into that spring pruning and cleanup now. Mother Nature is cooperating a little bit right now.
Gail asking, can we transplant peonies right now?
We can, but only if it's a kill or cure operation. The proper time to transplant peonies is October, just before they're going dormant. If you have to move it now, move it with a nice clump of soil and expect to not have any bloom on it this year. It's going to really disrupt the root system to move it now.
All right, and Chad asked, I just planted my carrots and my lettuce. Do I need to worry about the cold coming?
No, those seeds are quite hardy and they will just be there when the ground finally warms up.
Okay. Matt saying, curious why my holly bushes have turned brown. What can I do to save them?
Ooh, well, that sounds like winter burn. I'd be making sure they get a good, thorough watering right now. Even more importantly, next December, give them a good, thorough watering. Maybe put up a windbreak on the windward side so that the wind doesn't blow through them. And of course, there's always the wilt proof that you can put on late in the season to keep them from drying out. This is just freezer burn for the plant. It will probably come back from the stems just fine.
And our very own Linda Swinford just wrote in and said, we're having a hard time growing grass on our front lawn, too much shade. What's a good alternative?
Well, I have seen some people that have actually put in rather large beds of shade perennials. There's some places over in McClellan Heights and Davenport where they've used Pachysandra to very, very great effect. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's thick enough that weeds don't come up through it. It's evergreen through the winter, and it's a little slow to get started, but once you've got your area filled in, now this is just planting directly in the ground. Do not build the ground up. You never put soil on top of the roots of a tree. But once you've got it filled in, no more mowing.
Okay. Deb, is Rubitone good fertilizer for hibiscus?
Rubitone. Well, you can use it, but I would, and it will be fine. But I would augment it with some bloom booster type fertilizer. And I like to alternate between a regular general fertilizer, and then bloom booster. So the bloom booster goes on at least once a month.
All right, Craig, thank you so much. We're going to get more questions answered right after the break. Don't go away.